Hello there, Dirty Harry here with yet again one of my famous suspense-filled Dirty Harry thrillers. And the star of the thriller today is an AirForce Condor single-shot 22 caliber pre-charged pneumatic. Pretty high-tech looking rifle, I would say. Now, to fill an AirForce Condor, the first thing we have to do is we actually take the tank off of the gun like so. We just unscrew it like that, and we get ready to put the adapter on it to fill it. Now then, we take the fill adapter, which looks like this. It's got a quick connector on the end, and we simply take it and screw it onto the end of the tank like so. Just hand tighten it, and then we can take the air line and put it on the end of the bottle like so, and we're ready to fill. Since the Condor doesn't have a gauge on the gun, what we're going to have to do is rely on the gauge on the air hog to determine how much air is in the gun tank and to fill it up to 3,000 psi. So, in order to determine how much air is in the tank, we can bring it up slowly here and wait until it kind of right there, about 2,800 psi is about what's in the tank on the gun. So now let's bring it on up to 3,000 psi, and we'll bring it up slowly, and we'll bring it up just a little bit past, so it'll settle back on about 3,000 psi. And now we're ready to hit the bleed valve right here and bleed it down so that we can put the tank back on the gun. To put the tank back on the Condor, it's easier if you take the cocking knob here and just push it forward, and then you can thread the tank in very easy until it comes up to where it's snug, and then just pull the cocking knob back. There's a little safety right here you have to click forward, and then just point the gun in a safe direction. Now you're ready to load the gun. Loading the Condor is very easy, and you're not restricted to the size of pellets that you can use. For example, here's a 14 grain pellet, 28 grain pellet, and a 32 grain pellet. So let's start with the 14 grain pellet. We'll take these other two off of here temporarily, and all we do is pull back, push forward the cocking knob like so. That exposes the barrel, and you can just simply take the pellet, slip it in there, give it a little push, pull it back like that, and you're ready to fire the gun. The one thing you have to do though is push off the safety here, and now it's actually ready to fire. So we'll take it out, and we'll put each one of those pellets through the chronograph and get some readings and show you what the differences in foot-pounds are for the Condor. The backstop we're going to use here is 2 pieces of 3/4 inch pine back to back, and we have them clamped. And that'll give us an idea of how much penetration we're going to get. What we're going to do here is, first of all, we're going to put a 32 grain pellet through the Condor, and then we're going to follow up with a 28 grain pellet, And then we're going to do a 14 grain pellet to show you the difference in velocities, and then we'll convert those to foot-pounds of energy. Now then, the first shot we shot was a 32 grain pellet, and if we take this punch and put it through the hole, we can see that it went completely through, and we saw it on the other side. The second shot we shot was a 28 grain pellet, which was this hole, and it goes in about so far to here, and then if we add the pellet onto it, it almost made it through the 1.5 inches. Then the third shot that we shot was up here, the 14 grain pellet, and it made it to there, and if we add the pellet to it, the pellet almost made it through the 3/4 inch piece of pine wood. So here's what we have. We have a 14 grain pellet going 1,036 feet per second, and we get 33 foot-pounds of energy, or 45 joules. The velocity goes down with a 28 grain pellet, but we wind up with 52 foot-pounds of energy, or 70 joules. The velocity goes down again to 883.5, but the foot-pounds goes up to 55 foot-pounds of energy, or 75 joules. With a 32 grain pellet. So as we saw, the 14 grain pellet went through about half the target. The 28 grain almost went through the whole target of 1.5 inches, and the 32 grain, with less velocity but more energy, went completely through the 1.5 inch target. So we can say, we know that the Condor is a very powerful gun. So we can say that between somewhere over 52 foot-pounds and up, with a 32 grain pellet, you can penetrate the target.